the context for this is I was going through some of your Ho'oponopono work over the weekend, and it was just a gorgeous experience, and particularly the one around the world, forgiving the world. Um, and that was excruciating in the best way. And at the end of it, you sort of made a similar comment. Um, and I was still and confused and tired. But I didn't quite know what it meant to move, or what exactly you meant when you said move from that stillness, or speak from that silence. Another frame. I'm just trying to understand that a bit more.
Okay. It is your conditioning that moves your tongue. It's not you. And as long as you are bound in your conditioning, what you think, what you say, and what you do is not yours. Your beliefs don't belong to you. Your opinions don't belong to you. Your feelings don't belong to you. They are conditioned. It's very complicated. It's very hard to see, but of course, they're reactive to the catalysts and what you call the world, but they're also reactive, responsive to the movement of the planets and even the stars. It isn't you. You, who you are in actuality, is free from all of that, detached. From the place of detachment, it's very hard to be attached. Well, you could say, when the detachment sets in and you abide in this state of detachment, because we're in the relative, so let's just speak in the relative easily, okay? You'll have the experience of detaching and then reattaching and detaching, but eventually you will abide in this state of detachment where you are unimpressed, unmoved, not entertained by movement, and now you are still. One actually can speak from here. It calls into question who's speaking, but it won't matter so much because you are not suffering. One can move from here. The dishes in the sink don't magically disappear. They're still there. It's just you won't grumble when you do them. But when you know the stillness, the peace, truly the love in your own heart that is there already, only to be revealed by moving out the dross and the layers of flotsam and jetsam. Even in a relative, subjective sense of I, you speak from where you are, who you are. If who you are is peace, you speak from and as peace. Let's just look in a very practical way at stillness and movement. One is, I think, a good metaphor, which is the maypole. Are you familiar? There's the center pole and all these ribbons, and children or adults even can move around it. I don't know. It's some kind of game. I don't know the game. But anyway, their movement is around the stillness of the pole. This is Shiva Shakti. Or the hub of a wheel, the spokes and the wheel and the movement. But you see, we don't know that we're moving because we're moving with the other things that are moving. If this is attachment, superimposition. And so if you imagine two spacecraft traveling at the speed of light in space, and there's nothing, there's no landmark, no stars or anything around, and they look out their windows at each other, there would be nothing to tell them that they aren't standing still. They wouldn't know they're moving at light speed. Have you been on the train platform and one train starts moving and you feel like all of a sudden you've been moving backwards? It's a bit disorienting too because the platform is not moving. Have you had this experience? This is attachment. This is superimposition. That having attached to things that are in movement for your stability, you are moving with them. This is collective karma, collective consciousness. What you attach to, you move with. When you are detached, you will begin to see all of the movements. You cannot see movement except from a relative place of stillness. Is it true? You cannot know. One cannot really do neti-neti. One cannot know one's relative self without becoming still. Meditation isn't about stopping the thoughts. It's about being still so that you can see them. People don't know when they are fully identified in their thoughts. They don't know how crazy they are. From stillness, you'll see. It doesn't make any sense what they say, actually. From stillness, you can see this. You'll see it first in yourself. This is quite unpleasant. You see how crazy it is to be identified in patterns of thought. It doesn't make any sense, actually. But it seems ubiquitous. So there's no still point against which to show the contrast and to invite one into stillness. In its essence, satsang is kind of the stillness. You know how when you went roller skating as a kid, or maybe yesterday, you came off of the rink and you took off your skates and you were kind of wobbly? Or you get off a boat when it's been very choppy and it's very wobbly? You know? Reverend Jagannath, who's an awakened being, studied under Swami Satchidananda. He said as a child, I think it was on the West Coast, maybe in the Bay Area, in the Bay Area, and he went to like one of these early IMAX theaters, and it was people would stand up in it, and they'd hold on to standing up. They'd hold on to rails in front of them, and it was like a plane going, and everybody's holding onto the rails, and everybody in the crowd in unison is moving like this, whoa, like this. And he decided something impelled him to stand back and watch. Now, standing back and watching what was happening around him and not focused on what was happening on the screen, you could see the absurdity of it. It's not different from the allegory of the cave by Plato. Same. Just was in the Bay Area. So, when one abides in stillness and keeps coming back to it over and over again, because the habits of attachment are so strong, the habits of movement, we have so little control over our own tongues. And it's saying so many things that really have no foundational relevance. And And then you just quiet and still, and then you'll begin to see. And then one moves in stillness, one speaks in stillness, one contemplates in stillness. You could even fight in stillness. No problem, actually. Have a vigorous debate in stillness. So come to know stillness, and then you'll come to know what it is to speak and move from stillness in stillness.